Welcome all. Here we are with the second video on the series of question paper discussions that we'll be having in this channel. In this video we'll be discussing the Pondicherry University PhD Entrance Examination 2017 of English. As we analyze the pattern of the question paper, it has 100 questions. Of them, 20 questions are from grammar, logical reasoning, sequence and series, etc. And the rest of 80 questions are from literature, theory, criticism. The first question: which feminist critic propounded gynocriticism? Betty Friedan, Virginia Woolf, Elaine Showalter, Simone de Beauvoir. The answer is Elaine Showalter. You have an image of her here. In the year 1979, Showalter published her work Towards a Feminist Poetics, in which she has stressed the importance of gynocriticism. Gynocriticism emphasizes on the literature written by female authors. So there we'd be considering or we'd be seeing woman as the writer rather than a reader. So such kind of writings focuses mainly on the experiences, on women's experiences or experiences which are exclusively or distinctly feminine. It could be about gestation, it could be about feeding the baby. So all these experiences are exclusively or distinctly feminine. An example of one such work we have is Sandra Gilbert's and Cecil Kubar's work, The Mad Woman in the Attic, published in 1979. To quote exactly from Showalter, gynocriticism, it is to construct a female framework for the analysis of women's literature, to develop new models based on the study of female experience rather than to adapt male models and theories. She also talks about the need for a female canon. We are familiar with the literary canon. Canon, it is a collection of works which are considered classics. So we have the Canterbury Tales or the works of Shakespeare which are already into the canon. So here, by propounding gynocriticism, she is also stressing or emphasizing the relevance of having a female canon. John Osborne's plays are associated with picaresque drama, postmodern drama, kitchen sink drama, or naturalistic drama. If you are familiar with John Osborne and his writing style, you would be able to know the answer, or you would be able to identify the answer as kitchen sink drama. Now, so as to have a brief idea of John Osborne, let me give you a short introduction of him. His famous play is Look Back in Anger, which was written in 1956, and Osborne was famous for bringing in a new trend to the English theatre, about which we'll talk in detail. His first play was The Devil Inside Him, which he had written along with Stella Linden in the year 1950. In 1961, he has also written an epic play, which was Luther. Then his last play was Deja Vu, which he has written in the year 1992, and it was written as a sequel to Look Back in Anger. So what is Look Back in Anger all about? It is a play in 3 acts, and it was published in the year 1957. The play has the protagonist or the hero, Jimmy Porter, who was from the working class, and he observes, or he is rather disturbed by the privileged people, or by how the privileged people get access to better life conditions and career prospects. Throughout the play, he maintains a scornful, a ferocious tone, and he is totally disappointed by the socio-economic situations that were prevailing in Britain at that time. Especially if we are being specific, the time after the World War II, the authorities, the government, they have made many policies which were not in favor of the working class or of the lower middle class. Thus, this play, it expresses the political anger. In Look Back in Anger, we see a couple, Jimmy Potter and his wife Allison. Allison is a woman from a high class, and how class conflict emerges between them. I hope you have got a short idea of what the play Look Back in Anger is all about. Now coming to the angry young men movement, which you should be understanding in this context, because John Osborne is one of the angry young men. So angry young men movement, or angry young men, is a group of novelists and playwrights of Britain who lived in the 1950s, and all of them, or their work of art, work of literature, showed a disdain towards the socio-economic conditions of their times. If you look at the examples of the works that had emerged at that time, we have John Wayne's Hurry On Down, which was written in 1953, and Lucky Jim by Kingsley Amis, written in the year 1954. Our John Osborne, he was first referred as an angry young man by a press agent, and so his contemporaries who also wrote works reflecting on the socio-economic conditions of Britain, they were all called, that group of these literary people were called angry young men, and the movement that they had heralded was called the angry young men movement. So typically, if we look at the works which were produced by the angry young men movement, we can see in those works a lower middle or a working class hero, and the hero would be in his 20s or 30s. He is not in terms with the authority, is a male, so the hero is a male, and the protagonist is not in terms with the authority, with the policies and the conditions or the rules that were put forward by the authority. And he believes that his progress or growth is thwarted by the social structure that was prevailing in Britain. Now, coming to the final topic, final point that I plan to cover in this question, kitchen sink drama. So we have identified John Osborne's plays as kitchen sink drama. So kitchen sink drama or kitchen sink realism, it includes the plays which are realistic in nature, and they also depict the post-war youth culture. So we can see in all these aspects, in kitchen sink drama or by the members of the angry young men movement, and in Look Back in Anger, we can see that there was a break from the previous Victorian theatre's trend of depicting the life of the privileged. Till the angry young men movement, before that, or till this movement, only the lives of the upper class people were represented. Only the lives of the wealthy people were shown, depicted on the stage. From this movement, we could see the lives of the lower class people, lives of the working class people. So that is the relevance of John Osborne and the angry young men movement and of kitchen sink realism, or drama. I hope this is clear for you. We can proceed to the next question. Thomas Becket is a character from the play The Rogue, The Family Reunion, The Birthday Party, Murder in the Cathedral. So the answer to this question is Murder in the Cathedral. If we look at the options which are provided, of them, The Rogue, The Family Reunion, and Murder in the Cathedral are the plays of T.S. Eliot, whereas The Birthday Party is a play by Harold Pinter. But T.S. Eliot has written another play of a similar name, that is The Cocktail Party. So The Birthday Party is by Harold Pinter and The Cocktail Party is by T.S. Eliot. Now coming to Murder in the Cathedral, we can talk about this play in much detail later in some other occasion. But now let's have a short look at this play, that is Murder in the Cathedral. It was written in the year 1935 or it was published in the year 1935, and it is a poetic drama in two parts. So we have two parts for this drama, and these two parts are in verse. But there is an interlude which is there in between the first and the second part. This interlude is said by Thomas Becket, or the protagonist of this play, Thomas Becket, and this interlude is in prose. So the first and the second parts are in verse, whereas the middle interlude is in prose. This play, it is set in 1170 in Canterbury. So this question is about Thomas Becket. Where is he being a character? It is in Murder in the Cathedral, and this Thomas Becket is the same Saint Thomas Becket who was the Archbishop of Canterbury. So there were clashes between Saint Thomas Becket and King Henry II. So this play ends in the murder of Thomas Becket by 4 knights. This play also has an important aspect, that is it has chorus included in the play, which was in fact a great characteristic of a play. So this play, it has a chorus as well. So if you remember, it is to the shrine of Thomas Becket that the pilgrims are going in the Canterbury Tales. So Thomas Becket is the character from the play Murder in the Cathedral, written in 1935. Moving to the next question. Let me read a few lines from the poem. Things fall apart, the center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is lost. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are filled with passionate intensity. So, here you can also see an image of W.B. Yeats. This poem was written soon after the First World War. Along with that, there were Russian Revolution and many other political conflicts in Ireland. You'd be knowing that W.B. Yeats is an Irish poet. So, we can imagine what would be there in a society which is full of war or which is facing the effects and aftermath of war. There will be confusion, there will be pain in people. Thus, the poem reflects everything, all such feelings. You might be familiar with Chinua Achebe's novel Things Fall Apart. The title of the poem, the title of the novel is taken from this poem, The Second Coming. Here you can see Things Fall Apart. So the novel Things Fall Apart was written in the year 1958, and there is another novel, another essay collection by Joan Didion. Its name is Slouching Towards Bethlehem, and it was written in the year 1968. So both these titles are taken from The Second Coming. I hope this question is clear for you. Let's move to the next question. Wolfram Dung is propounded by Brecht, Coleridge, Faulkner, Tolkien. The answer is Brecht. Bertolt Brecht is the German dramatist who had propounded the alienation effect, or which is otherwise called estrangement effect or distancing effect. Wolfram Dung effect and distancing effect is the same. Wolfram Dung is a process through which this effect is achieved. So what is this effect? It is the process, or Wolfram Dung is how the familiar is made to appear strange. Let me read from the Glossary of Literary Terms. This effect, Brecht said, is used by the dramatist to make familiar aspect of the present social reality seem strange, so as to prevent the emotional identification or involvement of the audience with the characters and their actions in a play. Quotes close. So here, by this idea, by this effect, Brecht wants to prevent the audience from being passive observers, but rather he wants to trigger action from the audience. He doesn't want the audience to sit and observe, sit and watch a play, but rather after watching the play, they should be having this feeling that they should be doing something, and there should be a critical distance between the spectator and the stage. So this is what Wolfram Dung effect is about, and Wolfram Dung is the process by which this effect is achieved. So I hope all these 5 questions we have discussed as a part of this series is clear for you. There will be a part 2 dealing with the next 5 questions because I don't want each video to be so long. I want your feedback, and I hope that this discussion was fruitful. Thank you. If you have listened so far, I request you to please post your feedback or suggestions in the comment box so that both of us can learn and improve together. Thanks a lot.